everyone. Welcome to the show. This is another great edition of Bring It in the House. This is the podcast show that spotlights musicians, entertainers, artists, and leaders. And we have some great leaders in the house tonight. Woo-hoo! We got real estate gurus here, Jason Rayner and Damian Lindley. Yay! Of course, I'm your host, Millie Mills. I got to introduce myself. So it's a great time to be here, the holiday season, and wow. And you guys bringing in, you're going to make some people merry with some new homes, hopefully for the Christmas holiday season, maybe.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. That sounds good to me, but I'm going to wait on that. I thought at one time I was ready to purchase a home, but I think I'm going to wait on that. So,
hey, we may change your mind after today, but
yeah, you guys y'all have that influence. You guys know how to do that. So first of all, we like to open up the show, with a shout out to your native town. And so, Jason, I believe you told me you're from New York.
Yeah.
And Damian is, of course, an Austinite. Yay. Yes. So what schools, I'm going to start with Damian on this one. What school did you attend in Austin?
So I actually, I was born in Austin, but I was raised in Round Rock, kind of like on the outskirts of Austin. So I went to Stony Point High School.
All right. Stony Fire in the house. What about you, Jason?
Yeah, so I'm born and raised Brooklyn, New York, and I attended Williamsburg Prep, which is in the Williamsburg part of Brooklyn.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So how did you get all the way from the East Coast down here, down south?
Well, there was a stop in the middle. So I grew up in New York the first 19 years of my life, and then spent about 12 years in Ohio, 4 years in college, and then the last 8 years in law enforcement. The first year and change of that as a corrections officer, and the last part of the 8 years as a parole officer.
Oh wow, look at you.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So then my wife and I were part of they call it the great what's the name of it, the Great Resignation. So that eventually they're going to have a documentary about that. The Great Resignation is where a lot of people around COVID decided to quit their jobs and just figure out how to just solely work for themselves. And so we own a book publishing company, and then of course I'm also a realtor. So that's what we focus on, is just pretty much entrepreneurship.
Yeah, that's the going thing now. You are so right. And COVID did bring a lot of that to the forefront, I believe, because even this podcast show was birthed out of COVID,
Yep.
Yeah, in 2020. So yeah, and I'm just so proud of all of you, everyone who started out, begin their own little journey with their own business and everything. And what about you, Damian? How'd you get over into this whole real estate thing?
Just really trying to figure out what's out there that allows people to become wealthy in America. Now that's kind of like the biggest reason why I got into real estate, just because of the benefits and the amount of resources and amount of just areas you can really invest in when it comes to real estate. It's everywhere, and it's not going anywhere. And just knowing where my family has come from, and just knowing how much we lack in the entrepreneurship as far as owning our own things and whatnot. So I got on a journey really just wanting to become aware of my surroundings and become aware of, what actually goes on here in America, and how I can, put myself in a better position moving forward for me and my family. So that's kind of how I got into real estate.
Oh, that's beautiful. That's beautiful. And it's so good to see, you guys are so young and you have such a good head on you. And I love seeing that. You're such an inspiration to so many of us out here. So that was another reason why I was like, I would love to bring them on the show so we could educate, others about the steps and the whole process of buying homes or buying property, period. It's a lot of work, I'm sure. you know, because to be honest, I've never purchased my own home. I've leased a home with the option to buy, but I haven't just put the stake down just yet. And so that's where you guys come in to prep, and I'm sure help prepare. And you have a third party, a partner that he didn't get to come. He's a broker, right? Is that Robert?
So Robert's
Rob,
actually, yeah, he's a lender, fantastic with preferred rate, very knowledgeable guy. And when I started in this business, Damien and I both started earlier this year. One of the things that they teach you, and this is with any business that you do, you got to get your inner circle right first. And so meeting somebody like Rob, who is able to have those honest conversations and make it so simplistic that anybody can understand, is up Damien and my alley. We don't want to complicate things. Buying a home is the largest purchase that anyone, for the most part, is going to make in their life. And so we want to make that as stress-free as possible. And so shout out to Rob with preferred rate. He's fantastic.
That's
shout out Rob.
Amazing. And the company you guys are with is called Homes with Hall Realty.
Yes, ma'am.
Correct.
Okay, awesome. And this company is fairly new, is it? New to Austin?
Yeah, so Christy is she's actually been in the real estate business for a while, but she started the brokerage at the end of 2020, and she's a prime example of taking the leap.
Taking the leap.
And she's just been a phenomenal teacher, a phenomenal mentor, and I take a lot of nuggets. Damien and I take a lot of nuggets from her. She's very, with me having law enforcement experience, her way of motivating you to some may be a bit much, but sometimes and I'm with it too. Like if you got to tell me how it is, I prefer for you not to sugarcoat it. Like let me know. Don't try to put lilies and daisies on it. Like hit me with the hot water if it needs to happen. So Christy's a fantastic broker. She's been great to both of us, and we love her daily.
Yes. So you like a straight, no chaser, huh?
There you go. Jack Daniels all day.
And so I see there, I was kind of going through the website, you know, just checking it out. And I see you guys take referrals for friends and families. Yeah, that's really great. And you guys are located in the Pflugerville area of Austin, correct?
Correct.
Awesome. I love your website, and I know I was kind of looking around at the logo and everything. I like it. So, are there any other locations other than here in the Austin area, or is it a franchise or?
We just one location right now.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
It's gonna grow though. She got some things in the works, so we ain't gonna spill the beans too much. But she's doing what she got to do. So you'll be hearing way more from Homes with Hall Realty very soon.
Well, awesome. And you may have kind of already answered this partially, but what made you guys choose, you know, Homes with Hall Realty versus some of the other companies you could have gone with?
Damon, you got it. I'll let you
go. Really just shopping around, going to different brokerages and things like that. I kind of narrowed it down like to 2 or 3 locations. But when I met I really got referred by one of my friends, a family friend of ours. She said Chrissy had opened up her own brokerage maybe a year or 2 ago. And I was like, might as well go check it out and see like what she has to say and things of that nature. And then, I met with her, and it was a beautiful experience. She's real down to earth. She makes you feel comfortable. And me going to my first brokerage, I wanted to be, have it feel like a real homeostasis relationship. So she can tell me whatever she needs to tell me. Like kind of like Jason was saying, she doesn't have to like sugarcoat anything like that. She's gonna give you the real. Just so you can, to better yourself. And she wants you to be comfortable in your own skin around her and around people, when you go out in the streets per se, and, and try to get business and things like that. So really just, she's like a kind of like a second mom, sort of, it's kind of strange. She's like a second mom, and that's kind of like what I was looking for. And it's real, it's a tight knit group we have at the brokerage. So it's real fun. And I enjoy every day I get to meet and be around, the people in the brokerage. I love them to death.
Well, that's amazing. And that's good to know, especially starting out new in the business. It's good to be under what they say, undergirded. And it sounds like that's what she kind of like is like a mentor as well.
Right.
And provides that mentorship. So that's really good.
Yeah, she does a really good job at not just teaching you, but then also making sure that you're making decisions on your own as well, while being ethical and legal. That's her biggest things. But yeah. I remember I got lucky as far as how I found about the brokerage. So my wife, Patricia, when I was getting my license, there was a Facebook post that the brokerage had, and I guess you want to call it an incident. I guess that's one way to call it. They had a listing up in Georgetown. And at the particular open house, there were individuals who, due to race reasons, couldn't believe that a Black woman owned the brokerage. And so they were questioning her credibility. And she utilized this moment to show like, hey, I'm going to keep going. I'm not going to let this get me down. That post right there had me stop looking at any other brokerages.
Yes.
Because I really like that, because there's so many times in this realm of entrepreneurship and working for yourself, right, where you're going to have things happen and it's up to you if you're going to keep on going. And most people emotionally cannot deal with a lot of the downfalls and the potential setbacks. But it's only a downfall and a setback if you allow it to be. And so the way that post was put together, I was like, this is it right here. So I stopped talking to other brokers and everything. It was a wrap after that.
Yes, I get you. And I was looking through that Facebook page and I came across a video of the company and I'm so impressed. We're going to take a look at that now. Yay. I was like, this is so cool. Maybe I should get into real estate.
Boy with 3 and bounce out my shoulder popping. Bounce on shoulder, feel the vibe. I ain't stressing today. Yo, I ain't stressing today. Bounce. You negative, but I ain't got time. I ain't stressing today. Yo, I ain't stressing today. Bounce. Peace and love is on my mind. I ain't stressing today. I ain't stressing today. This earth gon' ever come and stop it, 'cause
I guess that was all of it. I thought it was longer than that, but I was surprising you.
Yeah, that was.
Yeah, I was trying to surprise you guys.
Yeah. We were decorating the tree.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying to tie in with what you guys were saying as far as not only, she knows the business, but, it's just like you guys, I guess, because it's a new company and you guys get to be like more like the foundation, the first group to kind of help, take the company to that next level. So, and you can see that team cohesiveness in that video, that tenacity, is in there. So that's what I was trying to share with the viewers there. So, yeah.
Oh yeah, very family oriented. So
yes,
yeah. When we got like little group meetings, it's always fun. It's always fun. Yeah.
Yes. So, as we were saying, I kind of got thrown off because I wasn't prepared like I wanted to be. So, but at the same time, just as far as the audience, if you can kind of elaborate on what are some of the benefits when you purchase a home, because a lot of people just don't see it. I know I'm one of those, I don't like to be stapled down. I feel like when you buy a home, you just kind of like, you can't move. I'm sure you can always sell it, put it back on the market. I get that. But kind of, if you can kind of just go into a little bit more in depth, what are some of the benefits of purchasing a home in America?
In general. Okay. All right, Damien, you want to start?
I'll start it off. I guess the first thing, probably like the most important thing, is just you building equity in your home. And you build equity just over time, owning your home and paying off your mortgage. And that's kind of like the biggest thing people don't understand about buying a house versus leasing, because when you lease, you're paying whoever is the landlord of the property. You're paying off their mortgage when you lease through them. And that's basically what your rent is. It's basically you're covering their portion of the mortgage, and plus you're putting a little extra in their pocket when you pay rent. Versus when you actually own the property outright and you're paying your own mortgage, you're building up that equity in that house. So if you do decide to sell 5 or 10 years, you'll have some money put to the side from the house, from that property that you can use in, whatever facet that you wanted to use it in. I think that's kind of like one of the biggest things versus buying versus renting.
Yes. And years ago, I don't know how it is now, but I remember when Obama was in office, and some of the other presidents previously, you got a nice tax break when you were a homeowner.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not sure. Is it still that way to this day?
So, and overall, really, as far as, and just to elaborate more what Damien was talking about, there are certain, like you said, tax benefits as far as owning a home. But the biggest thing is people tend to look at real estate on the short term, and they will say, okay, well, I'm not sure if it's a good idea to buy right now. Just like the stock market, you have got to look at this as a long-term game, right? Think about, for example, with the financial crisis. So I'm just going to use that as an example. When the housing market exploded, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking about one individual right now where he bought a home in Ohio for $200,000 that should have not been $200,000. But it was during a time when a lot of people weren't buying. And I'm going to get into how it's kind of similar right now. Now today, when he bought that home in 2008, now today, that same home that was $200,000 is now worth about $950,000. Today, people will talk about the interest rates being extremely high. And they'll say it's a really bad time to buy because interest rates are high and I'm just going to wait. I can give you an example of a couple who I spoke to recently who, when the rates were fantastic, 2.5%, 3%, they were pre-approved for $800,000 and they didn't buy anything. Why is that? Because every single home that they fell in love with, they were outbid on. 800,000 was their number. So if someone from California or New York or Oklahoma came in and said, well, I got 825, they didn't have 825 to work with. They had 800,000. I can give you example after example of houses on the market right now with these high interest rates that are dropping by 25, 50, 75. The largest one I've seen, $125,000 decrease, because it is now going into a buyer's market. Austin's pretty interesting because when you're looking at downtown, there are homes that are selling within a day or two. It's still happening. But as you get away from downtown, really around COVID time was when houses were coming up on the MLS. That stands for multiple listing service, coming on the MLS, and then disappearing. Like pending, sold, right? Gone. Right now, that's not happening. And so even with the interest rate, and Damien knows this as well, we tell everybody the same thing. Date the rate, marry the house. You're marrying the investment. You're marrying the largest investment that you're going to make in your entire life for the long haul. And when interest rates get better, you can always refinance, which is where you talk to a professional like Robert or whoever your particular loan officer is. But I'm telling you, it's never, people always say there's a good time and a bad time to buy real estate. I do not agree. And I'd like to use the example of Saks and Saks off Fifth. So you got Saks Fifth, you got Saks off Fifth. When the market is hot, it is a Saks off Fifth market. What do I mean by that? If you go to Saks off Fifth on a Saturday, it's ridiculous. It's bonkers. It's just, I don't even want to go in there. Right now, we are in the Saks Fifth market. What do I mean by that? Generally, when you go into Saks Fifth, there's not a lot of people there. Also, if you go to Saks Fifth, they don't have those big red signs that scream at you, 60% off, 70% off. You have to go in the store to find out what the discount is. So what Damien and I are telling you is come inside the store. Because if you look at the news, it's kind of expensive right now. Don't go in. But if you actually came inside the store, you see that little red sticker on the bottom of the shoe that says, where the guy says the red sticker means it's 40% off. But you wouldn't know that unless you went inside the store.
You go inside.
That's the market right now. Come inside the store, come shop and see what we're talking about.
Yeah, I mean,
That's-
even looking before I even got on here, it's like over 1,800 houses last week have decreased in price. And it's happening every week. These houses are always going on discount right now.
Hmm.
And just piggybacking off of what he kind of said, is moving into a buyer's market to where if you have a agent on your side, you can really negotiate and get a way better price than what they're asking for right now. That's it's kind of like what we're here for is basically that negotiation on your part to get you that premier price. So where even though the interest rates are high, it kind of balances out because the prices are so low right now. And kind of like what he said, you can always refinance in the future when the rates do go back down.
Okay. You guys are on it, man. How long you been with the company?
Listen, we both started earlier this year, and one of the things that I started a little bit before Damien, but one of the things that we talked about was educating ourselves, right?
Mhm.
We have to know like what
Yeah.
is going on. I had someone tell me, and I'm sure Damien can agree with this, that oh man, you guys started at the wrong time. Interest rates are high. That's cool. Listen. After the National Association of Realtors has a statistic that after 5 years, 13% of real estate agents are still real estate agents. 13%. That means 87% are gone.
Mm.
That's music to me and Damien's ears.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying?
Mhm.
Because someone who's looking
Yes.
at it as a bad market, that's great. Goodbye. Because the people
Goodbye.
who you could have helped, Damien and I can help.
Yeah. There's
Yeah.
more money in your pocket.
And it's funny too because we don't even, and that's how you know that we love it, because we don't
Yes.
even focus on like the money. Of course the money comes with it, right?
Mhm.
But we're
Mhm.
focusing on actually helping people and educating people, right? We have a home buyers class on. Damien, tell them the date and time.
December 17th at 10 a.m. at the broker's office.
So we have a home buyers class right now. It's a great time to buy a home. We're talking with Rob about a class for entrepreneurs. And I'm not going to go into that too much, but one of the things that I learned is that as a business owner, it's bashed into our heads that you want to pay the least possible in taxes. But the problem is that if you make $100,000 and you have $90,000 in write-offs and you've only made $10,000, sure, you're paying tax on $10,000, but then the bank is saying, so you've made under $1,000 a month. How are you going to get a mortgage? So we have a class that we're planning right now to teach hustlers, entrepreneurs, how you get approved for a mortgage. So we're working on that as well. But no, it's a fantastic time to be in real estate. Any day, any year is a fantastic time. And for sellers, and Damien, you can jump on this too. For sellers, people will say, oh man, listen to them. I don't want to sell my home. Here's what I'm going to say. If you're expecting that 50,000, 100,000 over, it's just not going to happen right now. Yeah. Right now, that is honestly not happening as often as it was when the market was really, really hot. But homes are still selling.
And that's what you told me when I met you guys at the Black Austin Market, whatever that event was. That's what you guys told me. He's like, this is the best time to get into it. I'm like, why?
Yep.
But I see you guys have sold me on it, and we're just about out of time, man. You guys are so awesome. We should have done an hour with you guys. 30 minutes go so fast when you're having fun, right?
It sure does.
Yes. In case you guys are just tuning in, hi, I'm your host, Millie Mills. This is Bring It in the House. And we've just had Jason Rayner and, of course, Damien Lindley. They are realtors right here in the Austin area, based out of Pflugerville, which is a suburb of Austin. And these guys are taking the market by storm. So if you're interested in buying a home, these are some guys that you really want to get in touch with. And how can they get in touch with you guys? The phone numbers or the emails. I'll put them up here.
Either one. We're going to answer. Oh, we're going to answer whichever. Was the email or phone number?
That's Jason's. And, of course, this is Damien's. Yeah. And the name of the company is Homes with Hall Realty.
Oh, yeah. Homes with Hall Realty. All day. We are here to handle your buying, selling, leasing needs. We are here for you.
Yes. And here's the website.
HomesWithHallRealty.com.
Mm-hmm.
Find out about our team there. And again, we do service the entire Austin area. Damien in particular is primarily up north. I'm trying to talk people in the brokerage now, letting them know, hey, south is where it's at. I'm the only agent down south right now. But if you're looking at central Austin to south to Buda, Kyle, St. Mark, you can holler at me. And Damien, my partner, he's central as well, up north, but we can handle you wherever you at. We got you.
Wow. That's interesting to know.
Yeah.
One on the south end and one on the north end.
That's how we do it.
Yeah.
We know what we're doing now.
So if someone tries to say, hey, well, I'm way out north, and hey, we got a partner out north that can take care of you. So
Yeah, we got teammates everywhere, all through Austin.
that is amazing. That is so awesome. Any shout outs before you guys go?
Really, I guess first and foremost, shout out Christy Hall, the brokerage, the owner. We appreciate you greatly for giving us this information and letting us, find our own lane in the real estate game. So shout out Christy, shout out the team. I'm not gonna name everybody off because I might mess somebody's name up right now.
right.
Man, shout out my mom, my biggest supporter, But yeah, I guess that's pretty much it for me.
Yeah, I want to shout out Patricia. She has been by my side through thick and thin. My wife has just been phenomenal, the best woman I could have ever met in my life. So thank you, hon. I gotta thank my mother because it was me and my mother growing up, and I got my mother coming through, moving this way next year or 2024 the latest. So shout out to my mother. And then yes, Christy Hall, thank you so much for believing in us, for being that drill sergeant and being that mother at the same time. And thank you, Billy, for having us.
Yeah.
Yes,
Thank
You're
you.
welcome. You're very welcome.
Yes.
And before we wrap it up too, I just want to say congratulations to you, Jason. I know you're about to be a father with your first. Yes.
Any day
Yes.
now. He doing a lot of moving, so we're gonna see what happens.
Just in time for the holiday. What a great Christmas gift that is.
Yes.
So
Yes,
congratulations.
Thank you.
You're welcome. I'm so proud of you, young men, doing that. You're doing great things and inspiring others. So keep doing it. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. We want you to have a safe and wonderful holiday season. And we thank you so much for tuning in to Bring It in the House. See you next time.